Hello YouTube, Jungle Runner 762 here. Today I have some banana peppers that I just picked out of my garden. My garden is very overgrown at the moment. I have some pumpkin plants that have pretty much taken over everything. And I got in there today, and to my amazement, my banana pepper plants were just covered. I mean, this is 2 plants here, and I still have 2 more to go out there, so lots of peppers, which is wonderful. I love these things. Raw, doesn't matter, just great flavor. One of my favorite peppers next to the jalapeno. And what I'm going to do with these peppers today is I'm going to pickle these. So I've never done this before. This will be a new event for me. Stay tuned and I will show you the steps that I'm going to take to prepare these for the pickling process. Alright, so we have our banana peppers that we've pulled from the garden earlier today. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop all these down into rings and place them into these jars for starters. We'll get into the pickling mix later on, but first things first, got to process these. Chop them down into rings, fill the jars, we'll set them aside, and then we'll come back and show you the rest. And I always start by chopping off the top of the pepper there. And some people like to remove the seeds. I'm just going to leave them in there. It don't bother me. Try and keep your rings even in size. It doesn't matter. Do it however you want. That's one of the coolest things about canning your vegetables, is you can fix them up however you like them. Look at that. Good banana peppers, one of my favorite. I could eat these on anything. I always try and plant in my gardens. I like to plant things that I know I'm going to eat, so it's not just wasted space. A lot of people will grow things, they don't really even eat. I don't see the purpose in it. Grow what you like. Okay, so there is a 1 pint jar, and it took approximately 4 peppers cut into rings to fill that jar. About a medium-sized pepper. So there you go. If you're someone that keeps track of the measuring, I kind of smashed them down a little bit just because you want a little space at the top there for when you add your juice to it, so that you get good coverage over everything. Set this one aside and start on the next one. Alright, so out of that handful of peppers I pulled this morning, I filled 3 pint-sized jars with banana pepper rings. Okay, next we're going to boil up our pickling solution, and I'm going to show you step by step what I'm going to use in that. Hold tight, let me get some things together, and I'll be right back. Okay, what I'm going to use today for my pickling juice, and I apologize for the noise, I got the dehydrator running in the background. Sure, you can probably hear it on the video, so my apologies for that. Try and talk up a little bit. I have a 1/2 cup of sugar, okay, and white vinegar, and some salt for pickling, and my mixed pickling spices. Now, what I'm going to do is combine these ingredients here. My recipe doesn't actually call for salt. It actually calls for 2/3 of a cup of sugar. But I like a little bit of salt in my pickling, so I'm going to use a little bit. But basically, I want 2 cups of the white vinegar, a half a cup of the sugar, topped off to make it 2/3 of a cup with the salt. And then I'm going to add roughly 2 tablespoons of the pickling seasoning. Combine all those in a saucepan, bring it to a boil, and we have our pickling juice. Just going to go ahead and add the salt to this sugar mixture right here. Top that off to 2/3 of a cup. Oh, got some chunks in there. That's alright. Those will cook down. Okay, so I've combined 2 cups of white vinegar, a half a cup of sugar, and then another 1/4 cup of pickling salt, and 2 tablespoons of pickling seasoning. Now I'm just going to stir this on a medium heat and bring it to a rolling boil. Now after this liquid comes up to temperature and we have it at a boil, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour that hot liquid into these jars here and fill them up. And after that, we'll clean the edges, seal the lids, pop them in the freezer for a couple weeks, and we'll have fresh pickled banana peppers. Okay, here we go. Fresh off the stove. Add our pickling juice to each jar. Leave about a 1/2 inch space at the top of that jar from where the liquid ends. And it looks like I didn't quite have enough to do all 3 jars, so I'll have to boil up another small batch for that, for this last jar here. But I'll continue on with these 2 and show you what we do next on this. Alright, first thing I want to do, take a clean paper towel and wipe the edge of that. You don't want any juices or anything on there when you put your lids on these jars. That way you get a nice seal. I'm going to kind of tap those down a little bit. Just get them down in that juice. I'm going to put my lid on the jar, place it down firmly, and I'm going to seal my bands here. And I'm just going to do these finger tight. Don't go crazy with it, just finger tight. Two jars of pickled banana peppers. Got a lot of extra juice in there. Oh well, no biggie. I'm gonna let these cool off, and then we will pop them in the fridge. Once they reach room temperature, they're safe to put in the fridge. For now, I don't want to move them a whole lot because there's some hot liquid in there, and it makes the jar susceptible to breakage if you accidentally bump it on something. So when you pour your juice, leave your goodies somewhere where you can let them sit for a while so they have plenty of time to cool down. I hope you enjoyed this video of how to make pickled banana peppers. Thank you for tuning in. This is Jungle Runner, signing out.